My name is Zaineb Mahdi. I'm the Wellington Director of Innovation and Digital Technology. I've been an educator for 10 years. My journey first started back in London when I studied a BSc in IT. I then decided I wanted to become a teacher, so I then moved on to the Institute of Education where I got my PGCE. I got my first job in London in an all-boys school. It was an amazing experience. However, I also wanted to explore schools on an international level. So I chose Dubai. And that's where I joined this fantastic school, Wellington International School, as a head of department. So I was head of computer science. Computer science is my background. So then I decided that I wanted to branch a little bit further than that to be able to explore different opportunities that we could give our students. And that's where I fell into this current role, where I am currently working with 5 schools within our cluster to be able to develop opportunities for our students, to be able to enhance the curriculum and to be able to ensure that our students leave school with the skills that they need to be able to flourish in the real world. STEM is not just a subject. STEM is a philosophy that enables us to be able to draw from different concepts from different areas, from different subjects. Whether this be STEAM, STEM, STREAM, this is all really good. It hasn't lost its identity. It becomes a way that it's a way for our students to be able to show that you can learn something in science, but we can also relate that to maths, we can also relate that to technology. So it helps them to be able to understand different types of concepts, but in a wider context, and trying to give them real world solutions, so real world problems that they can be able to come together and solve it together using different types of skills. So putting them in this situation, you will enable the students to be able to communicate with each other. They'll have opportunities to be able to collaborate. You can even have students that are really passionate about different subjects coming together, and to be able to have those conversations and learn from each other is a great way for our students to be able to understand how STEM is used in the real world. This is the whole point of STEM, is giving them opportunities, helping them understand these subjects in a much more wider context. One of the main challenges that schools face when trying to implement a STEM curriculum is around resources. You might have no budget at all, so you struggle to be able to bring in resources, or you might have the other side of the spectrum where you're actually buying in hundreds and hundreds of a particular robotics kit and it's just not worked out and it ends up in the cupboard and no one's really using it. So to try and avoid this problem, what I would do for both situations is I would start off really small. I would try to engage a small number of students, roughly around, let's say, 6 to 10 students, and I would start some form of a STEM club initially, before I would even think about trying to implement a STEM curriculum or even trying to bring in different types of resources. The reason being is that every single school is different, every single student body is different, and cultures are different. So what I would do is try and work out what my students are interested in. What are their needs? You know, one of the main parts of the STEM philosophy is collaboration, right? So we need to bring students together to collaborate in the first instance. So I would try to get them to understand real life experiences such as the Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals is a really, really good way to help our students feel empathy, and it's to help them understand what would you do if you were in their shoes? How would you try to resolve this problem? And then they can start drawing in different types of research from different types of subjects. This is STEM education. You'll notice that I haven't even mentioned bringing in any type of robotics kit for this. As the interest grows, as the understanding of the STEM philosophy grows, then you can start to be able to showcase what your students are doing. Start building trust within your organisation. Start showing your organisation that STEM is an important subject, and we do need to try and probably shine a light on this a lot more. Then you can have a think about what different types of resources that you can use. Maybe you were given a budget at that time and you can think about what different types of resources need to be bought. I would never ever buy a large number of a particular type of kit or STEM kit. I would never buy a large number at the beginning. I would always buy like a couple, and I would trial it out with my club or with my trusted focus group, and I would try get these students to relate the kit to the work that we're doing. If I can see that there is a really good match, and I can see that this is a really good opportunity for our students to be able to showcase their skills, then I would consider buying a bit more, but I would make sure I'd have a plan to ensure that lots of students be able to benefit from that opportunity. But the main point here is taking a small group and really shining a light on those students. Even if it's like a mini expo at break time and lunchtime, just get some tables and chairs out at break time and lunchtime and helping those students really showcase what they've learned. Then you'll start to see a little bit of a ripple effect. So you should start to see a lot more students get excited. You'll even see teachers jumping onto this, and they will start showing an interest as well because they can see the students are really excited about this concept. So hopefully this will help you to be able to understand how to overcome some of the main challenges, which is around building a really effective STEM club or a STEM curriculum. Like I said, the main point, start small, and then you'll start to see this small concept, this small idea that you're building in your organisation, and you'll start seeing it grow into something that everyone's talking about and everyone's buzzing about, and this will hopefully help and support the growth of your students as well. When I first became head of department, I started to write a mission statement. That mission statement was really, really important to me because it helped me to be able to stay on task. It helped me and reminded me the goal that I wanted to accomplish by the end of the year. And so I did the same thing once I became a director of innovation and digital technology. Sometimes when you're working across 5 schools, it can be quite difficult to be able to stay focused on particular elements for each school. But the main point, what I always wanted to come back to was this, and it was about redefining success for every student. We know that the school drivers, a lot of them are going to be around grades, league tables, and exams. But what I wanted to showcase was that there was another way. There was another way in how we can define success. So I wanted to use my role in order to showcase that. If we provide different types of opportunities for our students, that means that they can flourish in different ways, in ways that can't necessarily be measured with an exam grade, such as leadership qualities. Providing opportunities for our students to be able to run their own clubs, to be able to open their own communities and to be able to watch that grow. All of this cannot be measured by grades, but they can be deemed very, very, very successful. So I really wanted to show our students, our teachers, our parents, that success can be defined in a different way. And this type of success that these students have, it really, really helps them to understand how to use it when they're out in the real world. It's all very well being an A-star student, it's all very well being academic excellence, which is amazing as well. But if you're not able to communicate your ideas, if you're not able to collaborate and work with different people, if you can't develop interpersonal skills, then you're limiting the amount of success that you can have. If you're able to try and develop a relationship with failure, try to understand how to be able to learn from failure, and you teach students how to do it, and you model it as well as a teacher, then I believe that these students will then have exactly the right concept or the right mindset when they leave school. When it comes to grades, if you fail an exam, obviously it becomes very, very difficult to be able to come back from that if your focus is completely on academic excellence. So therefore, when you start to develop an idea that there are other ways of defining success for when you leave school, then things become a little bit more fluid and things become a little bit more flexible, and you start to find and gain an understanding of yourself as a student. And if you're a teacher as well, you start to gain an understanding of ways in how you could grow, and not just measuring your success as a teacher by the percentage of A stars that you have in your classroom. First of all, congratulations. Welcome to the best job in the world. I think all teachers who work in STEM subjects have a really good opportunity to be able to inspire the next generation. The first thing, or the first advice that I would give you is use social media networks. I think you need to be able to connect with and network with people all around the world. My whole journey as an educator, as a leader, changed when I used LinkedIn or when I used Instagram. These two different types of platforms enabled me to connect with people all the way around the world. I started to connect with other STEM teachers, and I started to get an idea of what they were doing in their school, and I started to feel really, really inspired. Once you take that research and you start to connect with other people, you can take that research and be able to work it within your own school and take that leap of faith, be really brave and try new things. And try to think outside the box. You have to move away from kind of traditional teaching and the way that a teacher is standing at the front and you have your students in front of you. Try and think outside the box. Even if you want to take the students outside, go take the students outside. Try new things. Try and test out different types of strategies that you may have seen online. If you want to open a club, don't think of, oh, it needs weeks and weeks and weeks of planning. It doesn't. You're able to try and put something quickly together, a very, very rough plan, have a rough idea of what you want to do, and then really engage with the students and find out what they like doing. Once you start to get to know the students better, it makes it a little bit easier because then you start to have a good understanding of what the students might respond to. So those relationships with students are really, really important. Try to engage them around real life experiences. Try to find things that they're able to relate to and try to help them to understand about the world. The next thing I would say, which is probably a key area here, is about being reflective of your own developments. Be really honest with yourself. When something doesn't work out, that's okay. Be okay with failure. It's a really, really good point or really, really good opportunity for you to be able to learn. So anytime when something doesn't work out, just take a step back. Be really reflective and honest about why that may have not worked out. Is it something that you could have done better? Could it be the environment? Could it be the setup that may have affected it? So really start to understand and deeply reflect on that, and then you just get up and you try again. That's the most important thing. Do not give up, because it will work out. You just need to be consistent in your effort. Good luck, and I wish you all the best.